Hey losers, it's me, Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with the books that I ended up buying in December. This video is a little late. Here are the books that I acquired in December, and I should probably go over the two that I finished in December because I'd really like to talk about them, but I don't want to make like a whole ass fucking video for two books. So yeah, this is gonna be a haul and like a wrap up kind of. What a treat for you. First, I found all four of these. I found all four of these at like my favorite local bookstore. It's been a little while since I've been there, and I found these in their horror section and I was so fucking excited, especially about Dear Lupe here, which is a book that I've already read, but the copy I have, I don't know where it is right now. It just looks like it's been rubbed a bunch on the cover, so it's like kind of like the cover is worn off almost in places. So I got this really beautiful copy of it. Man, I was so excited. It was inexpensive, which is really what's so exciting about this shit. Like, I found a better copy. I think this is probably less than I paid for the other one. Not by much, probably, but and then it's also in better condition. So this is one of the weirdest things I've ever read. I will leave a link to my review about it, so you can watch that because it was interesting. Then I found a copy of Survivor by James Herbert. He, of course, is famous for writing Rats. Also, apparently Moon, which I've not read. I've not read any of this stuff. This is about a plane crash that kills a bunch of people, and I'm really not sure like what else this is about because it talks about like this huge crash, but then there's a survivor and all the dead people are buried in this town, right? But I don't know, like, are they buried there because that's where the airport is? Are they buried there because that's where the plane crashed? Some of this doesn't really make sense. Very vintage horror. And then, I don't know, something about people like screaming about creatures, scared priests and shit, but like I don't know what that has to do with the plane crash at all. I will have to read it and, you know, try to figure it out for myself, I guess, but this is another it's just a really great cover. I also found a copy of The Thief of Always by Clive Barker. I know that this is one of his stories that can also be read by a younger audience, kind of like Abarat, sort of creepy fantasy type of thing that he likes to do. This is about a young boy who gets caught up with this man who owns this house. It's called Mr. Hood's Holiday House. Really don't know more than that, and that's okay. One day I will read this and I will know more about it. I also picked up Mystery Walk by Robert R. McCammon, and this is about these two men, one who speaks to the dead and one who heals the living, and somehow they're rivals for some reason. I have no idea why. I don't know. I'll, like, just like any of these books, I'll have to read it and find out, but this one's pretty chunky. This one's gotta be like 400 pages. Yeah, just about, huh? I still have not read any McCammon, which is probably some sort of crime somewhere. So I don't think that this will be the first one that I try. I think I'll probably pick up Boy's Life. That's a good idea. I should do that soon. But then I'll have this one when I'm like a huge McCammon fan. Because I will be, right? Right? Everybody, right? This is another, I like this cover. It looks like a dog my mother-in-law used to have. Like a mean version of a dog she used to have. This one I actually found at the dollar store because my daughter just loves to go there. She was like, I have $3 to spend. I can get two things at the dollar store. And so we'll go there and like spend half an hour contemplating what to spend $3 on at the dollar store. But I did find this the last time we were there. This is First Cosmic Velocity by Zach Powers. And this is kind of like a historical fiction, alternate history kind of a thing, which I really enjoy, where this takes place in, I think, the 60s in the USSR, and their cosmonaut, their space exploration program is getting started, and they have everyone thinking they're very successful, but what they're actually doing is recruiting twins, and one twin goes to space, never to be fucking heard from again, and the other twin stays on Earth and then does like the victory lap, right? Like, oh, you're back! Everyone thinks that they're the one who went to space and came back, but now they've run out of twins. They've only got one set of twins left, and that's who we're following in this story, and it just seems super wacky and grim and strange. I know that I heard about this because when I saw this, I recognized it. I recognized the cover. So I know I've seen someone talk about it, but I can't remember if it was good stuff. It sounds so fucking weird though. And yeah, I don't know. What the fuck? This is so weird. All right, and then of course, you know, I hit up the buy one, get one 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble. I actually found a couple really good things. This was a sale on their hardcovers. So I got first, Loot by Jennifer Thorne, which was a book that came out last year. And this is kind of like a folk horror ebook where this woman marries into this family who is kind of well-to-do on this strange little island. And she keeps hearing the rumors of this thing. I think they just call it the day, but it's like they sacrifice 7 people, and she's like, oh, haha, that's cute, until the day comes and it's real, and I don't know what happens after that. This was on my radar last year, so I thought it was super cool to find this at Barnes & Noble, and I snatched it up. I also found Daphne by Josh Malerman, which was also on my radar for last year. I think all 4 of these books were actually, so it was kind of, I was really excited to find all of these. And this one is very intriguing because it seems like it might be kind of urban legendy, but then like the urban legend might not be an urban legend, and the woman from this urban legend, Daphne, starts killing these teenagers who shared her story during like a get together because they're all on the same basketball team. So a little reminiscent of maybe The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, and that's such a fucking compliment because I love that book. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I really love the cover. I was thinking about urban myths, urban legends, and how it's like you always have this idea of what this thing might look like, but you never know because it's not something you've seen. And so like this faceless person on the cover of this is kind of like fucking perfect for that. So weird. I'm so excited about this. Then I also was so stoked to find Little Eve by Katrina Ward at Barnes & Noble. This is another like kind of culty folk horror sounding book where you're in this cult, the character's in this cult, and she's supposed to be, I think, like the kind of the chosen one for the ceremony that they're doing, but then the ceremony gets all mucked up by a detective who's investigating something and ends up, you know, in that thing. I don't know if it's because they've killed somebody, like have they sacrificed somebody and now that person's missing or what? I don't really know. I don't want to know too much because I think with all of Katrina Ward's books, it's like good to go in not knowing almost anything. And her books have, I mean, I've read 2 of them, so I can't say that. Her books always surprise me. She just doesn't have enough out for me to make a blanket statement like that. But what I've read of her has really been impressive, extremely impressive, and I'm really fucking excited to get to Little Eve. Okay, and then this big old baby. This is Wayward by Chuck Wendig, which is the sequel to Wanderers, which I loved so fucking much. And I'm so excited about this, but I think this is a book that's gonna have to wait a while because I don't know if I don't know if my attention span's there. And I definitely want to be in a place where like I can enjoy this book as much as it deserves to be enjoyed. Let's see, Wanderers was about this phenomenon that happens where these people start doing this thing kind of like sleepwalking, but they're definitely on some sort of path, and it's like nothing can stop them from making their way wherever the fuck their destination is supposed to be. Like they will climb over vehicles, they will trample people, you know what I mean? Like, and they don't know that they're doing it. They're basically asleep, but somehow surviving without like eating and things like that. It's crazy. So there's just like this big story behind that. It's insane and intense, and there's so much going on, and it's such a great book. So definitely read Wanderers and then pick up Wayward. If you guys have read this already, I'd love to know what you thought about it, without spoilers, of course, because that will make me cry. Lastly, I have 2 books from the December Nightworms package. First, Lucky Girl by M. Rickert, and also White Horse by Erica T. Worth. I will leave a little clicker if you want to watch that. I did a video of my unboxing this month, or last month technically, which is kind of incredible that I did that. But yeah, go watch that if you're interested. And then let me tell you about the 2 books that I read last month. So let's see. Both of these books I didn't really like. I mean, I don't know. One was like, I didn't really like this. The other one was like, I wish it had been more. First, I'll talk about The Ghost That Ate Us by Daniel Kraus, and this is the one of the 2 that I think I liked the best. This is written in such a cool, weird way. It's like you're following somebody making a documentary, which is one of those tropes I love so much. Like, I will, even if it's an author I don't think I like, if there's a book with a premise like that they've written, I'm going to try it just to make sure, because I love that trope so much. So this, I mean, not that I don't like Daniel Kraus, this is actually the first thing I've read by him, and I would like to pick up more of his stuff. This is about this little fast food restaurant in Iowa, and this thing happens. And you know that some people have died and some people have disappeared since this thing happened. And you know that one person has been officially blamed for this, but lots of the people involved think that there is a paranormal aspect to it. And so you're with the documentary maker uncovering this shit. And it was really, it's just one of the most unique books I've ever read, I think. And I don't think that this was just my brain at this time reading this, because I've seen a few reviews that really echo how I feel about this. It's just that, like, the execution wasn't great, and it had such a slow pace. It was very plodding, and despite being so weird and strange, it was like, I just couldn't overlook the fact that it was kind of boring. It was kind of boring. It took so much to get to, like, the explosion of what happened at the end. I mean, really, it's like 40 pages, really, maybe, I don't know, until we get to, like, what actually happened. There's like 40 pages at the end. So you read about like 250 pages leading up to this shit, and there's no, since that is like the plot, there's no like build up to other like subplot points, you know what I mean? It's like this big thing at the end, and you have to go through all this shit to get to it, which made it kind of boring. But like I said, it's one of the most unique books I've ever read. It's documentary style, which is so much fun. So I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up for me. I didn't hate it, and I wouldn't say I don't recommend it, but it was rough to get through, I think. Okay, then, oh my gosh, I think people are going to be upset about this one, but this is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I thought that I would, well, no, I didn't think that I would love this. The hype led me to believe that this was going to be good. And I read it, and I think this is just one of those things where I just don't understand the hype behind it. I didn't think that it was frightening. I didn't really feel worried for the characters. I didn't really necessarily like the characters that much. And so I guess I was just like literally not on the same page as the people who really loved this and thought that this was like one of the best books of the year. Didn't this win like the Goodreads awards this year? That is baffling to me, honestly. I'm sorry, you guys, but I thought this book was boring, and it was very readable. Like when I would sit down for this, I would read like good chunks of it in a short amount of time. So it's not that it was boring or bogging me down. It just wasn't, I didn't think it was very good. I didn't think it was surprising. At some point in this book, there is a twist. I don't obviously want to give things away, but this kind of twist is a thing that I've seen before, and it always just seems so fucking dumb. I'm sorry, you guys. I just want to be honest, I guess, because it's like, it's just one of, I think, the cheapest, like, laziest plot twists, in my opinion. So, of course, if you loved this book, I'm so glad for you. I'm so glad for you. But this one is not one that I liked, and it is not one that I would recommend. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it besides that, I guess. So, sorry, I'm really not trying to step on anyone's toes, but at this one, I think I just have that feeling like, did we read the same book? And that happens from time to time. So anyway, that's what I read in December. Those are the books that I bought in December. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you've read The Ghost That Ate Us or Hidden Pictures. I'd like to know what you thought about Hidden Pictures. Please don't hate me for hating that book. Yeah, I guess I kind of hate it. So I just don't understand. I just don't. Let me know. Let me know what you liked about that book, I guess, you know, without giving spoilers away for other people who might be interested in picking it up. But that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.